The year was 1954. With their sturdy, broken-down microphones, they were headed for greatness in the American West. Jack and Ron in the morning. If you don't laugh like this, you're probably normal.
The following entertainment special contains mature subject matter. Parents may consider some of the program content unsuitable for children. Parental discretion is advised. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the bad boys of radio. Here's Jack and Ron.
Hey, we're here on a Monday, February 20th, President's Day, as a matter of fact. Most people taking the day off, but not us, the hardworking men of the world of podcasting and video podcasting. In fact, the number one video podcast in the world with Jack Dam Elliott, Ron Dam Williams.
I've always had a problem with President's Day, because I keep saying, you look where they live, where they go. Day two,
I know.
Give me a break.
They get a day, we don't. So we're here on President's Day. By the way, we're broadcasting and podcasting live at Othello's Italian Restaurant in the heart of downtown Edmond. You never been here? Oh, man, you don't know what you're missing. And they also have another location on Campus Corner in Norman. I was here last night, as a matter of fact. Had dinner here. Oh, you know what I had? The meat ravioli. Oh, my goodness. So good. So good. And that bread they bring you to start? Oh, so good. Love it all. Othello's Italian Restaurant. Check it out. Thanks to Bob and Tammy and Nancy and Jen and everybody else for allowing us to come in here each week and tear this place up. Also, thanks to Flasholr, major sponsor of the show. Flasholr, they move items, merchandise, furniture, whatever, much like Uber moves people and transports people. The nice folks at Flasholr will transport anything you need moved.
Oh, wait a minute. You say transport?
Yep.
Well, no, they go a little bit further than that, but we'll have more information on that. These folks are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's all coming up here in just a bit. First, let's see. We start out with Too Tough Trivia, and then we do Asinine Trivia with Richard. And we say thanks to Richard, who's the guy who's in charge of all the gear. He's the executive producer, sets it all up and does all this stuff to make it happen so we can come into your home or your smartphone or wherever you check this out. So, shall we get to Too Tough Trivia to start?
Let's do it.
Okay.
President's Day, so it makes only good sense to have a presidential question. Here it is. Who is the only president in the 20th century never to go to college?
In the 20th century.
In the 20th century, never went to college, but became president of the United States. Who is this person?
I think I know, but I'm not going to say. I just want to keep it private between us girls. Okay?
That's fine.
Because I really think I know.
And you know what? You can go ahead and put your guess in. And I tell you what, you guessed correctly. You know what we're going to do for you?
What's that?
We're going to tell them they got it right.
All right, very well. By the way, we've got a website. We surely suggest, highly suggest you go to our website, jackandron.com, jackandron.com. Go to that as soon as we get done with the podcast or whenever you like to, jackandron.com. Check it out. By the way, remember the audio from this video podcast is distributed to all the podcast sites each Wednesday. That includes Apple Podcast, iHeartMedia Podcast, Spreaker, TuneIn, Spotify, so many more. And by the way, on Spotify, you can go there, scroll down a little bit, and there's a place for you to leave us a message. And we have a phone number for you to do the same. Shall we give them that number?
Let's do that. They can even have their Too Tough Trivia guess on it.
There you go. The number to call. And you can do this anytime, 24 hours a day.
All right.
Area 405-509-5030. Let me give you that number one more time. 405. Write it down. 405-509-5030. Okay?
Question.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know if I need to ask you or ask our producer. Can you put that up on your phone as a shortcut so you can just go right to it?
Sure.
Why not? Just put
That's
it in.
the way to do it instead of do like we do. We can go
Just like you put somebody else's name in there, just put in there Jack and Ron. 405-509-5030, right?
Jack and Ron podcast.
Jump on
you
it.
can go right. See, that's the way to do it.
All right. Now, before we get to the worldly events and everything that's going on and, why we wear shoes instead of just socks, we're going to take time to do asinine trivia with Richard. Asinine trivia. It's so easy. It's asinine. We came up with this contest years ago to satisfy the needs of our sales department, who would come to us begging us to do a contest to give away some big time prize like a pair of shoelaces, or maybe even not that big, a 10% discount on a pair of shoelaces.
Or maybe, hey, you're going out. We've got the special ornamental book of matches.
Yeah. And
So let's give these away.
sure. That's the kind of crap they used to come up with. And so we're thinking, well, we're not going to make people jump through hoops to win this prize, since it's not exactly what you would call enormous.
Yeah,
it's not like a new car.
Yeah, you're not going to put it up somewhere on your, on your awards mantle or anything like that. You're not going to get any money for it. So we went ahead and decided to make it so big, it would just blow your mind.
So it's simple.
Thank you.
Asinine trivia. We quiz Richard with 3 questions today. Number 1, Richard, the band known as the Beatles. You've heard of them, right?
Uh-huh.
The Beatles recorded on a record label that is also a very popular fruit. What record label was that? A record label that was also a very popular fruit.
Peach.
Huh?
Peach.
No, think Adam and Eve.
Apple.
There you go.
There
Apple
we go.
Records. There you go.
Oh, by the way, I'll come back to that.
Pretty easy.
Adam and Eve thing.
Yeah.
Because, in the Bible, it never says Eve took a
apple.
bite. She never took a bite of an apple. It never said that in the Bible.
It just says from the fruit.
That's right. It
Okay.
just says fruit.
Didn't say what fruit.
It just said
All
fruit.
right.
And somehow or another, we thought it was an apple.
On to question number 2.
Wait a minute. Well, you
I
didn't
think
get
that was the
that
first
one
time.
right.
I did. He gave me a good hint.
No, the first
and I
time
guessed
around,
it.
you didn't get it. Let's see.
But here we go with question number 2. When they say they are running at Remington Park, what is it that's running at Remington Park?
Horses.
Horses. You got it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a big jackpot winner.
No.
Run into the car.
Horses. Good job, Richard. Question number 3, final question for you on asinine trivia.
Oh, wait a minute.
Trivia is so
Thank
easy.
you.
I had to give that to our man there.
Trivia is so easy, it's asinine. Name the 2 guys who have won more broadcast awards than any other broadcasters in Oklahoma, who also enjoy letting little kittens lick strawberry jelly off their toes while they sip mimosas from a high-heeled shoe once worn by Tina Turner, and who also perform the #1 video podcast in America.
Jack and
man.
Ron.
Yeah.
You got it. Good job,
I don't
Richard.
know why you just didn't have it on a sign. Once you started naming all of that stuff, why didn't you just put our names up on a sign and give it to him?
That
It was
would've
kind of
been
obvious.
A
you know?
lot easier.
Yeah.
By the way, we're sitting here in one of the best Italian restaurants in America, Othello's Italian Restaurant. I've eaten here a couple times in the last couple weeks. I just love it here. At any rate, I wanted to make note of this. There's an Italian restaurant in New Jersey, and they're raising some eyebrows. They got some people a little fired up because they have officially banned all children under the age of 10. So if you got a 10-year-old kid and you want to bring him this place, and apparently the place specializes in spaghetti. You know how kids are at the age of 3 and 4 with spaghetti.
Oh, they want to see how
Yeah,
long it is.
Throw
They
it
want to put it in there,
their
do that.
hair, and So anyway, people are upset, but I'm kind of like, hey, the owner of the restaurant has the right to do what he wants. He can go ahead and decide that kids under 10 aren't allowed to be a part of his restaurant experience.
I agree with him. As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the game shows, some of the prizes they give away, especially on carnivals, cruises, or either you go to a resort, they now have on there adult entertainment, adults only. So if you have kids, get a babysitter for them, because on some of these trips, you're going to have such a good time.
And when you go to this Italian restaurant in New Jersey, if you live there or anywhere, if there was an Italian restaurant that banned kids under 10, wouldn't it be kind of nice to get a sitter and go out and have a little date night with your significant other?
I think that would be perfect.
I think that'd be a great idea.
I think get a babysitter, and I think it's time that the children, depending upon how old they are, 8, 9, should have a chance to see mom and dad come in drunk.
All right. Very well.
Mom, Dad, leave me alone.
Something else I wanted to mention.
Bed.
A few weeks ago, we talked about Lumi, which is this deodorant that a registered gynecologist, this woman who's an OBGYN, I forget her name and I feel bad about that, but she's been doing all these TV commercials where she says, Lumi is a deodorant to use everywhere you have stink, but don't want it to stink. And she shows you on your underarms, under your boobs, on your crotch, and your butt crack. And that's what she actually says and shows. Now, she's wearing clothes when she does it, but I mean, you get the point.
Well,
So
she puts her hand back there. You don't see exactly where her hand lands, but you know
what she says when she says butt crack. Of course, you know what it is. Anyway, ever since we did that, I think the cell phones pick up everything you talk about. Now I'm getting inundated with emails, text messages from Lumi trying to sell me this damn product. And I still say to this day, 20 years from now, much like this Camp Lejeune thing, we're going to see commercials on TV. Hey, back in 2023, did you use Lumi on your butt crack and you're now suffering from rectal cancer? Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a lawsuit going to beat the band, and you're welcome to join in.
Oh, well, not only that, but apparently this Lumi is so successful. Now there are one or two other brands that say they do the exact same thing.
You knew there was going to be competition.
Oh yeah. So
But usually the first one to come out is always the one who succeeds the most.
Oh yeah. Well, we've talked about them.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember the name of the other the products, but Lumi. And as a matter of fact, I want to say this: any lady out there who has used Lumi, you can go ahead and call us at the number 405-509-5030. Let us know how it went. Or you can even go ahead and leave a word on our comment page that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've tried Lumi and did it work for you, are you no longer funky?
Does it sting when you put it in specific areas of the body? I mean,
what is wrong with you if it's stinging?
Well, I mean, hey, if it's stinging, you never know. Maybe it's got some sort of property in it, a chemical property that could cause stinging if you put it on a sensitive area. Think about that.
Jeez.
Because she's suggesting you put it in very sensitive areas, such as your crotch and your butt crack.
I was about to say, she said, I don't know, you put it everywhere below your neckline.
Yeah, that's kind of what she says.
Yep.
Everywhere but below your neck.
Slather it right on there and just walk around confident.
All right, we got to say hi to John Bennett checking us out on the video podcast today on Facebook. John, be sure to share this with all your friends. Same goes for Patty Stower. She's checking us out, says hello, guys. And let's see, Mike Fields.
Yes.
Mike Fields, the man.
Oh, and
finest broadcast engineer in America.
I call him Mr. Funk.
Yeah.
Because my man knows what it's about.
He knows, man.
And look who we have after Mike.
Christy Stewart.
Yep.
She says, forbidden. What is forbidden?
The forbidden fruit.
Oh, the forbidden fruit. There you go. Yeah, that's right. There was the forbidden fruit that Eve took a bite out of.
Yeah.
But we never, how did we determine that it was an apple?
I think you maybe have to go back to the King James Version of the Bible. Because let's face it, there are no apples over there. They were saying maybe it's a pomegranate, maybe it's a fig or something like that. So he said, well, let's make it an apple. Everybody knows what an apple is.
Yeah, easy.
But everybody doesn't know what a pomegranate is. And so
let's go with the apple.
Yeah, like I said, that's why when you have the Bible, then you have another version of the Bible. And then some people say, don't read the Bible. You know,
right.
Just be good people. That's all. Just be good people.
All right. Very good. Hey, we got to get to some audio because each week we try to present some very interesting, stimulating, and arousing audio. We've.
Oh, well, when we get through with that, I have this story, and it just came out newswise about a man's penis.
Oh man, I got to hear this.
And it involves every one of us.
Uh-oh, I'm worried. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. First, some audio. You know, over the years doing the terrestrial radio thing, we always opened the phone lines to anyone who thought they had something to say. Sometimes they did, other times not so much. But we also had people call in to the Jack and Ron confession line or the Get It Off Your Mind line, sharing stories anonymously, allowing people to feel better about themselves by cleansing their souls. We gave them that opportunity.
Get it off your chest.
This is a lady who felt bad about snooping around on her husband. Now check this out.
Yeah, I have an apology and kind of a confession I want to make. I have a bad habit of going into my husband's wallet and sneaking out money and sneaking around like I really don't trust him. And it's really something I have a lot of problems with. And it's an apology I've made before, but it's something that it's just so hard for me to keep from doing. And it really just bothers me. And I really want to try to stop it. Just saying I'm sorry doesn't seem like enough, but it's just the way I feel.
Yeah.
Snooping around, stealing money out of his wallet.
I was about to say, you don't trust your husband. Hell, he shouldn't trust you.
Yeah.
You're the one going through his wallet and everything else. Instead of having a conversation to go ahead and get the subject out in the open and hopefully settled, you have turned into a thief. You have turned into the very thing you accuse him of doing.
Oh,
that's being
my.
dishonest.
All right, Stephanie Waller-Wachynski is checking us out along with Rita Young. Rita says she's watching in Altus. Thanks for checking us out in Altus. We appreciate you. And Stephanie went ahead and sent 200 stars. Thanks for the stars.
And,
now we got to get to the story of men's penises.
Well, I was going to say Andrew Tippett also is watching.
Oh, Andrew?
Yeah.
I did not see his name pop up on my screen.
Yeah.
Isn't that odd how certain names will pop up on yours and not mine, and then vice versa?
It's like mine has a limit. It will show so many names, and then it'll say, Jack's got a phone. So they hop over to your phone. I don't understand.
I don't quite get it either. And Richard tries to give us some song and dance about algorithms. I don't know.
All right. Well, here's the story. There's a brand new study. A lot of research is going on, and we're paying these researchers way too much money, I think. Says a man's junk, you know what I'm talking about, has increased 24% in length in the last 29 years. You hear me? Scientists don't know why.
They obviously haven't included me in that study.
But well, no, they didn't come in and say, all right, Mr. Elliott, we just lay it right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, but doctors are a little concerned because they feel that the increased length may have something to do with fertility as well. So they're continuing.
Meaning
the
a
study.
man is more fertile or less?
Less.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, you gain here, you lose there. That type of situation. So the last 29 years, 24% in length. That's I think they said that is now it went from 5.5, I think, to 6, maybe.
In terms of total inch length?
Yes.
All right.
So it's like our producer's looking, saying, big deal. Whoop-de-doo.
Well, that's interesting that they claim that they've done a study that shows that it's increased 24%.
Yeah. I mean, and for over the last 29
years?
All right. 29 years ago, what made you start studying this? What made you start studying men's junk? I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. It's something between two individuals. Who I don't mean unless you're a stripper or you're a porn star or something like that.
I'd say porn star might be concerned about it, or
yeah. Well, maybe, yeah. But it doesn't make any difference, does it, Richard?
No.
All I know is back in college they called me Smokehouse because nobody had ever seen that much meat hanging in one place. Hey. All right, I think we got to take a commercial timeout real quick because we're going to tell you all about Flasholr and a little bit more about Othello's Italian restaurant from which this podcast originates. So if you'll stand by, we'll take a break and be right back. Don't go away.
Hey, Jack, BK, I need some wings. Are you guys up there?
Affirmative. Your backup is cloud-based. It's all on the cloud nowadays.
That's funny. But you guys have the wings?
Winger, Jack, winger. Winger. Hey, they had a couple of big hits back in the 80s, remember? Winger, big hair.
Great wings don't just fall from the sky. They come from Louie's, where we're preparing food fresh daily. Come try one of our great new sandwiches. Or wings with any of 7 delicious sauces. Louie's, we're in your neighborhood.
We've got this down to a science. Over. Yeah, we're just not up here winging it.
Hey, Al, I thought we were meeting at Othello's.
Hey, Jack, I am at Othello's.
Well, I'm looking around and I don't see you. Well, wait, are you at Othello's in Edmond?
No, I'm at Othello's in Campus Corner in Norman.
Oh, great. Well, fortunately, both Othello's have great Italian food.
They sure do, and I'm having the baked ziti.
Ooh, I'm having chicken marsala.
Let's continue with the meeting.
Yeah, sure thing, over the phone, but I need one thing.
What's that?
Your credit card number, because you're buying. Othello's Italian Restaurant on Campus Corner in Norman and in downtown Edmond. You bought it online, and now you need to haul that big couch. Flasholr it. Bought a washer or dryer and need to transport it from the seller's location to yours? Flasholr it. Have office furniture to move across town? Flasholr it. Car breakdown and you need a tow? Flasholr it. Anytime you need furniture or appliances moved or need a tow, Flasholr it. Haul it, tow it, deliver it with Flasholr. Download the Flasholr app free. Do it now. Flasholr. All right, Flasholr does some incredible things in terms of moving product, merchandise, couches, sofas, refrigerators, washers, dryers. If you've got merchandise you need to move, maybe you bought something at the big box store over the weekend and you're driving a Mini Cooper and you can't take a washer and dryer in a Mini Cooper, which we all know, contact Flasholr. Go to the website, Flasholr, FLASHOLR.com. They can do it for you at a very reasonable price and almost within minutes, because if you go to the box store and you say, well, can you, or a furniture store, can you deliver it? Well, yes, we can, man, but it'll be a week from Tuesday. Well, that's not the Flasholr way, is it, Ron?
No. And I'll tell you something else. You were talking about taking something from your home or store, putting it into a vehicle and taking it to your home or picking it up from your home. But you know what? What if you need some help inside your home where you don't need anything taken out? What if you're just moving stuff around, maybe redecorating or renovating or whatever? Can Flasholr help? Can they help?
Oh, my, Ron. They've got people who do just that. They call them the Hero Helper. The Hero Helper will come. For instance, if you're having your carpet ripped out and you're putting in wood floors, they'll move all the furniture out of that room, put it wherever you'd like for the time being. And then once the carpet's ripped out, the floor is replaced, they come back in and put the furniture back in its place or wherever you prefer it to be. That's the Hero Helper. Also, listen to this. If you're looking for some furniture, you're looking for certain items, they got a new feature called Nice and Free. Items being given to Flasholr that people no longer need. Sometimes people, elderly folks, move out of their house and they move into a retirement center. Well, a lot of times they don't need all the furniture they once had, so they give it to Flasholr as they move the rest of their stuff to their new location. And Flasholr then makes that stuff available to you free of charge. Go to the website, flasholr.com, FLASHOLR.com. Come on, man. You looking to do that? And also, if you're looking to just move from, say from Oklahoma City to Altus, they do that too. They call it MOD, Moving on Demand.
Let me tell you, with Flasholr, the heaviest thing you're going to lift is a cup of coffee as you watch them work.
And give them orders as to what you want done with everything.
Just that
There
simple.
you go. Flasholr. Check them out. All right. We got to get to email. It's time for some email, isn't it now?
Yes, indeed.
And
I don't know. I'm going to ask you about this. And we were sort of talking about this before we went on. Dear Jack and Ron.
Uh-oh.
The Food Network has made my life both great and painful.
I love the Food Network, by the way.
The pain comes from some of the recipes my wife tries.
Uh-oh.
Some of it's good. Some of it is absolutely terrible. The good comes from what happens after she cooks. She does this every time we have sex that evening. It's the food she cooks that has my stomach upset. Now, what do you suggest? And guys, I'm not giving up sex.
Well, why would you? Who would?
Yeah. Well, he has the problem of his stomach will be
upset, and so he doesn't feel well enough. He's not up for it, so to speak.
It's sort of like a trade-off.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, man. Simple. Keep some Pepto handy.
Hey, there's an idea.
Yeah, and
keep it right there on the nightstand.
Yeah, well, or in the restroom as you go to wash up and what have you.
Sure.
Take you some Pepto right then and there because you know what's happening later on. So there you go.
So, and it's interesting about the Food Network because it's only been on a rare occasion that I've said, you know what, I think I'll try that recipe. But I do watch the Food Network quite a bit. I like one of my favorite shows is Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri. We were on the show with Guy Fieri some years ago when he came to town, and we went to Ingrid's Kitchen. And we were part of the show. We were with him like 3 or 4 hours. Great guy. He was on the show with us on the radio program we did. Super guy. So I watch that. I also like to watch Bar Rescue and Restaurant Impossible.
Bar Rescue, the new season.
I know.
Next Sunday, man.
Yep.
And I like this guy. I like a guy who just gets in your face, explains to you how screwed up you are, and you're screwing up the business and all that. If you've never seen Bar Rescue, you got it. You got to
check it out on the Food Network. There's another show that I like a lot. I mentioned it, Restaurant Impossible with Robert Irvine. He does a great job of going in and looking at a restaurant that's struggling. They're not doing well, and he figures out what needs to be done to fix it. And then he talks to the employees and the owners and says, here's what we do to fix it. Yeah. And like in a short period of time, like 48 hours, they redo the whole place. And I wanted to point out, Robert Irvine has a book out called Overcoming Impossible, like his show is Restaurant Impossible. I've been reading the book. I picked it up last week. I'm about halfway through. Very good book. Great life lessons in there and just information about how a business in general should be run. Really good stuff.
All right. Something like Bar Rescue. I've noticed a lot of those shows kind of have a similar theme.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and you go with that. And I like Chopped.
Chopped is another good show.
I like it. Open the basket, see all this crazy, weird stuff in here, now cook with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, here's an interesting one. Rita on our Facebook page says, I miss Ingrid's. It was so good. Yeah, Ingrid's did shut down, I think it was a year or two ago. I don't know if it was to do with... what do you call that? The pandemic or whatever?
I don't know. All I know is they first moved out of the location we did Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. We moved from that location.
Did.
They moved, and then they just closed
altogether.
Is my understanding. So,
and then Rita,
which is a shame because they had some good stuff, and you know that.
And Rita has another question. Have you ever been to Florence's restaurant in Oklahoma City? Both Ron and I have been there a number of times. In fact, we were there together one time with a group of our former co-workers from the broadcast industry.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, is Roy with us today?
Yes.
He is. All right. Roy the movie guy is with us today. And he has, do we know what movie he's talking about or do we not?
Yeah. You want me to tell you?
Sure.
Cocaine.
Oh, Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. Oh,
this got to be a great movie.
Oh, you know what? I will say this, not spoiling it for you, Roy. I don't think I am. They had Elizabeth Banks, who is the director for Cocaine Bear, and she was on The View this morning, and they showed a lot of scenes from it. And as soon as we finish up, I'm going to tell you something about Cocaine Bear that nobody knows as yet. I do because I watched The View, and if you watched it, you know too, but we'll tell you.
Okay, let's hear Roy, the movie guy's review of Cocaine Bear. Check it out.
Thank you, guys. Today we're going to be talking about what's opening up this weekend at the box office. Cocaine Bear. Directed by Elizabeth Banks, starring O'Shea Jackson Jr., Kerry Russell, and one of his final appearances, Ray Liotta. After a 500-pound black bear consumes a significant amount of cocaine and embarks on a drug-fueled rampage, an eccentric gathering of cops, criminals, tourists, and teenagers assemble in a Georgia forest. With a runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes, rated R. And that's a look at what's opening up this weekend at the box office. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right. Hey, thank you very much. Let me say one thing about Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, tell me.
CGI at its best. The director said, for those who were a little, upset about it,
about the animal cruelty part of it,
except for one thing, the bear is not real. The bear does not appear real in this motion picture. It's all CGI.
So on the big screen, when you're watching it, it appears to be a real bear.
That is correct.
But it's all been done electronically, graphically through CGI.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm an actor. If anybody on the set, I want to go ahead and deal with a bear supposedly who's eating some cocaine and is now going crazy. I don't want to be on the set with that bear.
I don't want to deal with a bear who hadn't had any cocaine. I don't want to be with any bear at ever on a scene.
And here's the deal. This is a true story. It's a true story that an animal.
I had no idea.
Yeah, had found some cocaine
based on a true story.
Based on a true story.
Oh wow!
You know it's funny if somebody just go around and find out all the wild, true stories and make a movie out of it. We'd be a lot better off than some of the crap we get now.
Yeah, because there are good movies, and then there's a whole lot of crappy movies. All right, we got to get to some other audio for you, and you're going to like this a lot. You want to crank this son of a gun up. We used to have celebrities drop by all the time on the radio show, and years ago, one of those, speaking of the Food Network, which we were earlier, was TV chef Paula Deen. And on this particular day...
Miss Butter.
She liked that butter. She came in complaining about a contract dispute she was having with a network over some live events she was scheduled to do around the country. Check out our little visit with Paula Deen.
What you talking about?
Mama Dean, how you doing?
Oh, it's me, Paula Deen from the Food Network. I got to tell you one other thing about this lawsuit that really kind of curled my hair.
Yeah, we thought we wouldn't bring it up, but it's so big we just had to mention it, Mama.
The other thing was, after I signed that contract, I found out I couldn't take my two boys with me. You know, Jeffrey and Brutus. They could not go.
Whoa, Paula. That's Jamie and Bobby.
Oh, God, I keep forgetting their names. Jamie and Bobby, my two sons.
If you're this forgetful, are you sure this contract thing is okay? You seem to be a little lax up there.
I wanted to take them with me on my little tours. You know, I go around and I set up a little kitchen thing, and I do a performance in front of a bunch of people, and I whip up some crap, that anybody could make. In 5 minutes, they got all the junk in their pantry. But because I'm doing it, it's like some big wing-ding affair, and everybody thinks it's worth it. They come pay money to see me and all, and I take their cash. Hell, I'll take their money any day. But anyhow, they told me I couldn't bring my boys. And, when my boys and I tour around the country, they like to go shop at different stores around the country for underpants because there's different varieties, different sizes, different shapes, some of them have animal prints. And I'm not going anywhere without my two boys.
No, Paula, I can understand that, but still, what is it? $150,000 advance, $130,000 for
a show.
Yeah.
I think I'm worth more than that. But
couldn't you find somewhere for the kids to take them to Chuck E. Cheese or someplace, or put them in the back somewhere with a video game or something during that? That's a lot of money.
I've left them unattended at Chuck E. Cheese in the past, and I usually get a phone call from the manager about 30 minutes later. They just say, "Come and get them." They say, if not, they'll be handcuffed and escorted to the police department.
No, wait a minute. How old are your boys now? They sound like little bitty kids.
Well, they're in their 30s or 40s, but I'm not sure how old they are. But anyway, they get a little rambunctious when Mama leaves them alone at Chuck E. Cheese. So they go in there, they win them tickets for playing little skee ball and all them games.
Right.
And then they take the tickets up there to trade them in for the prizes. And they always want the good stuff on the top shelf. But my boys ain't skilled enough to win that many tickets. For crying out loud, they're lucky to win a pencil. So they get up there and they start arguing with the man behind the counter.
Oh.
And so I end up going down and getting them out of there and trying to apologize to the manager. Usually what I do is I sit down and have myself a pitcher of beer. That's what I love about Chuck E. Cheese.
A pitcher?
Yeah, what the hell?
You dealt with beer?
You dealt with them two boys all day? You'd need more than a pitcher, I'm telling you. But that's what I love about Chuck E. Cheese. It's a great place for the kids, but Mama can take the edge off with a pitcher of beer. Listen, I got to get out of here because the boys are down in the car waiting for me right now, and we're kind of all angry about this.
You just kind of cruise the streets of Oklahoma City, don't you?
I drive around just see what's going on.
Oh, well, now, tomorrow, I don't know what you're going to do, but you can't let Jamie and Bobby out because we're supposed to get some real bad weather, maybe all the way up to 10 inches. We don't know.
We're going to stay in tomorrow and make clay figures. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Clay figures?
I don't want to go out in the cold weather. My boys, they're just, they can't handle it either.
You were talking about that. I'm thinking maybe a big old hot cup of cocoa and, maybe some of the nice warm winter stuff, even though, because it looks like it's going to be back on us. But some clay figures?
Oh, it's so fun. You'd have no idea. Listen, I got to get going because the boys are down there waiting for me. The car's running, and one of them has bad gas, and I don't know. They won't tell me which one keeps leaking. So, I got to go, y'all. Bye.
There you have it.
I will say one thing. I have not tried at Florence's as yet because we went. The food's great, and that's the oxtails.
Oh, Florence's restaurant, oxtail. Yeah,
the oxtails.
I haven't tried it either.
Oh, oxtails.
Yeah, I've had it in the past, but never at Florence's. You know, she's like a James Beard Award winner, which is like the top restaurant award you can win in this country.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Florence's. And I'll tell you what I did like, that fried chicken.
Well, you know what? We need to grab when we got an opportunity.
Grab Richard.
Grab him. And
Richard, the producer, we need to grab him and head over to Florence's, man.
Yeah.
The greens are good too.
Oh man,
they are good.
And they have these sweet potatoes and this cornbread. And do you want chicken fried steak in addition to fried chicken? Yeah, all that's there. And you want to, I mean, the company, the surroundings, great. And at the same time, when you finish, you just want to put your feet up for a second and talk and then go out and get in your car and go home and lay down and get you some sleep. It'll put you right up.
Nothing but good times.
Next time we go, we'll try to let you know in advance, and you can all meet us there.
Sounds good. And right now we've got to get to
news of the I'll be damned.
Well, okay. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. News of the I'll be damned. A 20-year-old guy by the name of James Taylor. No, not the James Taylor, the singer that we're all familiar with from years ago. There's a different James Taylor. In fact, this guy, like I said, is only 20 years old. He was arrested last Saturday in my hometown of Chicago. Arrested in Chicago for armed robbery. He allegedly pulled a gun on a 35-year-old man who was just arriving home. And James demanded that the guy hand over everything. Oh, the victim gave him his car keys, $2 in cash, a debit card, and a takeout bag of fried chicken. Well, rather than run, James opened the victim's car, sat down inside, and began eating the fried chicken. Meanwhile, the victim called 911. Cops showed up within minutes and arrested him. He was still there eating the fried chicken. He was charged with multiple felonies. He's looking at 21 years in prison for just the armed robbery charge. And here's a question that I haven't gotten answered. There's no word on where he got the fried chicken from.
I was about to ask that, but you tell me the type of store that produces the type of chicken that will have you sitting in a car after you commit a crime.
Yeah. Basically carjack a guy. No, I'll take the chicken first before I drive off.
Yes.
I wondered, and that's in my hometown of Chicago. I got to find out so the next time I go to Chicago, I can try the delicious chicken. I thought maybe if it was in Oklahoma, it'd be fried chicken from Florence's or maybe from Ishan's or what's that, Chicken Shack. We've both had chicken from Chicken Shack, and it's good too.
Or if you want to, just narrow it down, get some wings from Bobo's.
Bobo's, there you go.
Oh man, have you been there yet, Richard?
You've been to Bobo's, but you have been. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. All right, I got another news of the I'll be damned for you. Police in Indiana arrested a 26-year-old guy named Austin Briscoe. He was arrested for arson. It's a shame, isn't it? Because that carries a heavy sentence. They found him.
That's not a shame. Good. I just run around burning up stuff. Lock him up.
Wait till you find out. Wait till you find out what he did, guys. Okay. Listen to this. Cops found him standing next to a 1998 Buick that was on fire. Strange thing is, the Buick was his. He had set it ablaze to discourage people from stealing stuff from the inside of his vehicle.
Jeez.
Because if there's nothing left of the vehicle, there's nothing left inside. At one point, the fire caused a small explosion, but Austin said to the cops, "I had hoped the explosion would be bigger, but it wasn't." It's unclear what items he was talking about inside the vehicle that he didn't want stolen, but cops did find some drug paraphernalia on him.
There we go.
So in addition to arson, he's also been charged with unlawful possession of a syringe, hypodermic needle, and controlled substances. Way to go, Austin. Nice job. And there you have news of the I'll be damned.
What an idiot.
Hey, we got, I know. Why? First off, it's a 1998 Buick. What would that vehicle, what would you put the price tag of something like that on? $500 maybe?
Yeah, for them, for them to haul it away.
Yeah, to haul away is, because I mean, even if it was still in running condition, what do you think? I doubt that he could get more than $1,000 for it.
That's depending upon the condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he decides to burn it up because he didn't want anybody breaking into his vehicle and stealing his laptop or whatever else might be in there.
Liar. He just wanted to get another car. He doesn't care what they have. And wait a minute. A 98, do you think there's going to be something valuable inside that car?
I know. All right. We got some more audio for you. Here's the thing. You don't hear radio shows making many interesting or entertaining phone calls anymore. It's just kind of gone to the wayside because radio has become very pre-recorded, as they say. There's not a whole lot of live shows taking place. You listen to it during the day and you think, oh, maybe that guy's live. Half the time they're not live. In fact, probably more, 70% of them are not live anymore. And that's because most radio shows are, like I said, they've gone to a thing called voice tracking where the talent goes in and records the show in advance.
And you want to call in and maybe request a song?
Yeah.
Do you want to call in and have a conversation on something that was said? And maybe you just want to call in to find out what's going on. And not these days, you can't.
Can't do that. And we have always thought that was chicken shit, to be honest, and very cheeseball to not do a show live. So for those of you out there voice tracking, you know what we think. Anyway, we like doing live radio, and that's why each week we do this podcast live right here at Othello's Italian Restaurant. And we do it live on our Facebook page. And then, of course, it's distributed on the various podcast sites. We enjoyed live call-ins and talking to people on the air, live. So check out this over-the-phone job application to work on a construction site. Check this out.
Construction helper?
Okay.
Yes.
Your name, please?
My name is Jack Torse.
Lawrence. And how many years experience do you have?
Several. I have several.
All right, the position hasn't filled, but we're taking names and phone numbers in case.
Okay, well, take mine because I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to me, on the last site I worked on, these guys started to become very offensive toward me and throwing bricks and block down on top of me. And I don't go that way. You know what I'm saying?
They started throwing things at you?
Yes, because of certain reasons. You know, I used to wear little shorts on the job and whatnot, and they would fire bricks and little pipes and bottles of beer at me and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, let me have your phone number.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you fit me in there, and I swear it'll go well.
Okay, you available right away?
Well, it depends on my schedule. I'm a busy dancer as well. Now, what's this with the plastic? I see plastic. What do you mean plastic?
Plasterer.
Oh, well, it says plastic here because I was good at that. I used to wrap my friends in plastic and beat them with a stick for a nightclub gig. Oh, it was great.
All right, your phone number?
Okay, it's 27839.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Oh, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Wonder if he ever got the call back.
Yeah. Would you call him back? That's why she asked for that phone number. All right, give me a phone number because I want this conversation to go away right now.
I used to wrap my friends in plastic and beat them with a stick for a nightclub gig. God, you can't beat good stuff like that.
Well, hey, what was that show that they have on America's Got Talent?
Sure.
You seen some of the crap they've had?
Oh
on
my
that?
God.
Yeah. A lot of it is fantastic.
Some
it's
of the
really
people,
good.
like you said just now, are great.
Yep.
And then there's always somebody who comes out and you think, how did you even make it through to be in front of the judges?
Yep.
Well, we know probably because they were so bizarre that they thought it'd make for great TV.
Well, just
and
like
it usually
anything
does.
else, like they used to do with American Idol, they had some singers on that they knew couldn't sing.
William Hung was one of them.
Yeah, but they put them in there for the fun of it.
The fun of it and the shock value.
Yeah.
And for the audience to sit there and go, no way.
But here's the deal with William Hung. He took his infamy and made money.
He took his inability to the next level and actually made he released 4 or 5 CDs. We have them all, including his Christmas CD, Hung for the Holidays.
Oh, now
William Hung.
Once it's the holiday season again, we've got to find that and let them hear a little bit of Mr. Hung's, hang-ups about Christmas.
His lovely Christmas album. All right, time to get to this. It is Jack and Ron's Sleezy, Trashy Showbiz Report.
Richard Belzer, remember him?
Love that guy.
He played the detective John Munch on 10 different shows like Homicide Life on the Street and Law and Order SVU. He died at the age of 78. And I will say this, I can't say exactly what he said, but they said these were his last words.
Ooh, I didn't hear him.
F-U, you mother F.
Really?
Those were the exact last words of Richard Belzer.
Well, at least he wasn't bitter.
And it was like, I'd sure like to know, was he talking to everybody there or somebody he thought of or what? But I don't know if that's a hell of a way to go out.
Want to hear an interesting story? Now, first off, what's really interesting about Richard Belzer, he was a comedian, then ended up doing pretty much dramatic, serious role-playing as an actor, and he did a great job. Now, here's a real quick little fact for you that you may not be familiar with. There's a guy named Scotty Brink, lives in Edmond, Oklahoma. He worked in radio many, many years in Chicago and in New York. And in New York, for several years, he did a morning show with Richard Belzer. Richard Belzer was they were a team. Scotty Brink and Richard Belzer doing a morning radio show together. And Scotty, I see Scotty here at Othello's once in a while. I haven't seen him in a while, but I've run into Scotty and talked to him about radio, the industry, and what's, taking place and so forth. Super guy, great guy, super talent too. But he and his wife moved to Edmond to kind of get away from everything. So they live here now in Edmond, even though he worked in Chicago. I remember him. I used to listen to him at WCFL in Chicago. And then he worked in New York, and he worked several other stations before he ended up retiring. And now he's living in retirement here in Edmond.
If he wanted to get away from everything, why didn't he move to Wewoka, Shawnee,
now that's getting away from
Bowlegs, something like that. Now you want to be away from everybody.
Well, I think maybe
that's where you go.
He still had enough taste of the city life that he didn't want to be too far from reality.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
there you go. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought that was an interesting side note.
No problem. Judge Mathis and the People's Court are over.
I like Judge Mathis.
Season.
Remember, he was in our studio with us one time.
Yes, indeed.
Nice guy, and all the girls in the building.
With him? I hope we got some pictures. With him.
I don't know if we did get pictures.
I'd like to put
this was years ago. All I remember, all the girls in the building were running up and down the hall. Oh my God, you see him at it? The girls were just like throwing themselves at him.
Because he looks good, and he dressed to kill.
Yeah.
But anyway, he has been on the air for 24 seasons. The People's Court, remember, they've gone through a number of different judges.
Judge Wapner was the first one, right?
That is correct.
I liked him too.
That's been on the air for 26 years. At the end of the season, both shows are gone. I'm noticing a lot of other judge shows coming up. One is Jerry Springer, Judge Jerry. At any rate,
oh my! Now, did Judge Judy? Did she quit her deal, or is she still going?
She's still going. She has another program as well called Justice Judy,
right?
Judy for Justice or something like that, where she's making a lot of extra money. She owns all of that show, so she did the right thing until they go ahead and cancel her.
Wow.
We'll see. Stella Stevens from the Poseidon Adventure and the original Nutty Professor. Again, another Hollywood death. She died at 84. Ant-Man and the Wasp took in $118 million over the weekend.
It's a pretty good take.
Oh, yeah. Avatar 2 took over the number 3 spot as far as the highest grossing movies of all time. Took it over from Titanic. And with some of the other movies that are coming out, Titanic is going to ease on down the line, I think. I still want to see Knock at the Cabin with Dave Bautista.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's at the number 4, either number 5 spot. Well, Peter is not happy with the brand new show Animal Control. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen the show, but I've seen enough trailers but the first thought that came to mind was, I wonder what Peter has to say about this.
They are not happy at all because they are using real animals. We were talking about the cocaine bear. Well, the bear CGI. No, not here. All these are real animals. Peter's really, really concerned. Well, it seems that according to good research, what do you think are the happiest songs ever recorded out there?
Before we went on, Ron asked me the question. I did get one of them correct. I said Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys.
That is correct. And I gave you one of those.
All right. And so the other I didn't even take a guess at yet. And I thought, At first I thought maybe Don't Worry, Be Happy, but you corrected me and said, no, that's not one of them.
It's a brother.
Richard, do you have any idea? No? Happy song.
Yeah, and this guy had a nickname.
Oh, I can see clearly now?
No. The rain is gone. No,
Yeah.
that's not a real.
I thought maybe that was Happy.
They used to call this guy Screaming Jay.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me.
Mr. Dynamite.
Oh, James Brown?
The song, I Got You.
I Got You.
I Got You.
Yeah. Great song, too, by the way.
That was the number 2 song right behind the Beach Boys as the happiest song out there. Yeah, you
I thought maybe the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun or something like that might be on the list, but no.
Too melancholy. Just too. We're talking about just
all happy all the time.
Just get out there, dance, whatever you want to do. Happy, happy, happy.
There you go.
All right. That seems Tyler Perry's studio, he has in Georgia, drove up property value so far, a lot of the people who live there can't afford to stay there anymore.
Now, who is it?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry moves in.
Yeah, he has the biggest studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, biggest studio, bigger than Hollywood combined.
Bigger than Oprah's.
Yeah. And they drove up the property value around him, so a lot of the people who live there could no longer afford to live there.
Oh, my God.
But, but hold on. Tyler don't play that.
Tyler to the rescue?
Yeah, Medea doesn't go that way. He donated $750,000 so those people could stay in their home.
Awesome. Way to go, Tyler.
Tyler, man, see, that's why everybody loves you, dude. You keep, that's the way to do the money. Okay, you're not sending people to space or whatever else. You're helping the community as it stands.
Excellent.
Hey, sources say Yellowstone won't end right away if Kevin Costner does leave, and he's threatening to leave. Poker Face, I don't know if you've seen this on television or not. I love this show. It's been renewed for a second season. And finally, Britney Spears shocked folks, a lot of them, while having a moment, as it were, said that she wanted old husband Kevin Federline back.
Wow.
Britney just got married. Husband is thinking either she really wants him back or she needs to go and get some more therapy. That's your Hollywood update, baby.
All right. Art Wachynski is online checking out the show today, and he says, I worked with Judge Mathis at the 36th District Court back in the 1990s.
Oh, all right.
Where would that have been, here or 36th District Court in New York? Where would that have been?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Detroit or Chicago. I think it's Chicago.
Chicago. Very good, Art. Nice going. Thanks for the info.
You did a good, obviously, you had a good time. I've seen Judge Mathis on a number of different programs. One was Shaquille O'Neal used to have these comedy shows and stuff like that.
I remember that,
and Judge Mathis sitting down there in his all white suit, in the whole 9 yards. And who was that? Monique was one of the host, and
Monique.
She hit on him a little bit, but I like Judge Mathis an awful lot.
Very cool guy. All right, we got to get to the Jack and Ron dumbass joke of the day. Here's what we do. We have 3 very cheesy jokes to pick from, and we always, as usual, ask Ron to pick one of the very cheesy jokes. So again today, Ron gets to pick his cheese. 3 jokes. Number 1, the CEO. Number 2, the parents. Number 3, the freshman student. Again, the CEO, the parents, the freshman student. What will it be?
Two of those I've gone through and don't want to go back to them. So let's go with the CEO.
CEO.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now you got to follow along closely, okay? It's not a big ha 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 kind of joke. Almost more of a lesson. A man tells his son, "You will marry the girl I choose." The kid says, "No." The dad says, "Well, she is Bill Gates' daughter." Kid says, "Oh, okay then." The dad calls Bill Gates and says, "Hey, I want your daughter to marry my son." Bill Gates says, "No." He tells Bill Gates, "Hey, my son is the CEO of World Bank." Bill Gates says, "Oh, in that case, okay, sure." The dad calls the president of World Bank and asks him to make his son the CEO. Bank president says no. The dad says, "My son is Bill Gates' son-in-law. Bank president says, wow, sure, your son will be CEO. And this is how politics works. See, kind of a lesson. It's okay, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let me give you
It depresses us because we know who our daddies are, and they don't have those kind of connections. Yeah, I feel good behind that.
All right, got a couple more quickies for you then. How's that? A father says to the kid, son, you're adopted. Kid says, I knew it. I want to meet my biological parents. Father says, we are your biological parents. Your adoptive parents will come pick you up tomorrow. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more. A sarcastic school teacher says, if there are any idiots in the room, please stand up. Well, obviously, there's a long, long silence. Nothing. Finally, one freshman stood up, rose to his feet. The teacher says, now then, mister, why do you consider yourself an idiot? Student said, well, actually, I don't, but I hate to see you standing up there all by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. That's all right. All right, there you go. Well, so you have it. All right, I think well, that wasn't bad. We got to get to Tribon. This is where we give you 3 words. And Richard has explained to me in his research, our producer has said, some people just don't understand how Tribon works. And so I'll say it again. We give you 3 words, and there is 1 word dangling out there that you need to come up with that will work with the 3.
Yeah, you put this word with those 3 words, and it all makes sense.
Okay? Well, here are the 3 from last week, so this will be a good example for you. Last week's 3 words were blue, finger, foot. Blue, finger, foot. The 1 word?
Wait, I think I know it.
What is it?
My wife guessed it.
Okay.
Was it hut?
No.
Wait, maybe that wasn't what she guessed. Go ahead.
Print. Print. Blueprint, fingerprint, footprint. Okay, that's how the 3 work, okay? 3 words again were blue, finger, foot. 1 word, print.
But what about this week, Jack?
I've got another one for you. Ron.
Pray tell.
Pray tell, we've got another one for everybody to check out. All right, here's Tribon for today. Again, we give you 3 words. You got to come up with 1 word that works with the 3.
Mm-hmm.
You got 7 days to think about it. We'll come back next Monday and share the answer. The 3 words today. Oh, and this one's so easy. A 3-legged dog with no tail and an eye patch could get it. Okay. Here we go. Bar, school, door. Why don't I give it to you one more time? All right? Yeah. Bar, school, door. Those are the 3 words. 1 word works with those 3. We'll give you the answer next week. Incidentally, Rita Young, who's watching today, did get the answer to the previous Tribon, the word being print, the footprint and fingerprint and blueprint. Very good.
Well, we'll see exactly how sharp people are right now. I might as well go ahead and say it. Patty, thank you for checking us out. You were the first and, to my knowledge, only one to get the correct answer for today's Too Tough Trivia. Are you ready, my friend?
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
The question, who is the only president in the 20th century never to go to college?
I was going to
made it to be president.
I was going to say Eisenhower, but I know I'm wrong.
Yeah, because he was in the army.
But I didn't know if he went to.
that.
Okay, I didn't know where he went to school. Did you know, Richard? No.
You all didn't know that Eisenhower was.
I knew he was a military guy, but I didn't know he was a West.
Yes, I didn't know the answer to this.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know Eisenhower was a West Point grad. I knew he was military.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, hey, you can't know everything. I know most things. I just didn't know that.
Well, you were close. Who was the president before Eisenhower?
Truman. Only one who didn't go to college.
Harry S. Truman, the only president in the 20th century who did not go to college. And you know what? He became president. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Well, just what does that tell you?
Dream big.
It's America. Anybody can be president, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're born in America and you're over the age of 43, you can be president.
And if you have money or enough people with money backing you.
Sure.
Then off you go.
Boy, that money part of it is like the key.
Oh, yeah.
That's really the key.
That, I always hate, I like it, but sometimes I hate to come in after a Sunday, especially with all of the Sunday talk shows, when you hear a lot of the idiots on there saying all that they say. It's like, who the hell voted for you?
I say that.
Louise.
I say that every time I see some of them current day people on, from Congress and the legislature.
Yeah.
I see them yelling and screaming at our president, and I think, who voted for that nincompoop?
Yeah, you look at that and you say, I remember
How disrespectful.
I remember a time when I would not watch the State of the Union speech because it was so boring and nothing ever happened. Now it's almost roll the dice. Let's see what's going to happen this time.
Yeah.
Is somebody else going to be a fool or somebody else going to be an idiot? And as long as there are 1, 2, 3 people who are still in Congress, yes, it will always be a show.
There you go. All right, we got to wrap this show up. Speaking of shows, thanks to the folks at Flasholr, the major sponsor of the show. If you ever need to move any product, any objects, whether it's a washer, a dryer, love seat, sofa, whatever, contact Flasholr. They've got trucks and drivers all over the city, much like Uber has people who transport individuals. They transport your merchandise.
Don't forget about the free furniture.
They've got it. Go to flasholr.com, FLASHOLR.com. Okay? Do that. Thanks to the nice folks here at Othello's Italian Restaurant in Edmond. If you love Italian food, you're going to love Othello's. They not only have this location in Edmond, in downtown Edmond, they also have one on Campus Corner in Norman. Check out Othello's if you love Italian food.
And you know what's something we hardly ever do? We mention him, but we hardly ever say, hey, thanks, you did a great job. And that's our producer, Richard.
Yeah, Richard, thanks for such a great job.
People don't know that you come in here by yourself, set up all the equipment, all of this, and then just produce this show. Hey, a salute to you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. No problemo. All right, very well. We got to get out of here. Remember, do what now? Is it fun to watch this mess in progress from where you're sitting?
Oh, I love it.
Okay, good. He loves it, he says.
Maybe we need to put
Twinkle to my Mondays.
Yeah. Maybe we need to put some chairs back there, have an audience. But anyway.
Have an audience. That would be nice. Yeah, we'll just start inviting people in off the street. Yeah.
I'd rather have some folks who I know.
As opposed to just some stragglers.
All right.
All right, we got to get out of here. Remember, when you go out to do what you do, do it like Jack and Ron. Be the very best at whatever it is you do. Like Jack and Ron, be the best. Give it 110, 120, 130% effort like Jack and Ron. Go out there, give it hell.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good day.